Welcome back to Meet the Authors. So glad you could stay with us. For this segment, we have Hank Roberts. Hank, thanks for coming on the show with us. Meet the Authors. So you're an author, and you just started publishing, and you have your first book here. Show the camera, the audience, your book, sure. and tell us the title about it.
The title is Matthew from Rags to Riches.
And tell us a little bit about what it's about.
Well, let me read to you just a second what's on the back here. It'll tell you exactly what it's about. It says, follow a very likable young man as he travels from a life of poverty to his astonishing success. Discover how he manages to acquire his great wealth and read how he uses that great wealth to the service of others.
It's a wonderful book, I know, because I worked with you on this one. It's a Horatio Alger story, where a man with nothing comes from an orphanage, doesn't even know his parents.
It tells that right at first that he doesn't know even his true name because he got sent from foster home to foster home.
Yeah, it's a really amazing story and a lot of fun. There's a lot of science fiction into it. He gets zooped up through like a lion in the closet type thing, zooped up into a foreign land where he's meets all these different aliens and develops all sorts of gifts. Where did you get all these great ideas? It's so imaginative.
Well, I've done some writing before. I never had one published, but I've done some writing before, and I really do enjoy coming out with a reason for some of the thoughts that they have. And I knew good and well that no one would believe these thoughts if they thought it just came from him. So he had to go to aliens and be exposed to, they taught him things that he needed to know to bring back to Earth and practice.
You know, I wrote a book, a mystery called Inheritance, in which there's a lot of violence. I'd be that right up front. And this one has no violence. All your books, I've read them in the second one. They'll tell me the third one's a little bit more violent. But your books are just like cozy little murder mysteries. They're also fun and positive in their writing and their style. And the people are so good, so much. Is this the kind of life you've led?
Yes, it is. Yes, it is. My wife and I have done over 30 years of medical mission work throughout the Caribbean and all, and we've trained nurses and nursing teams to go down there and train some people to work in nursing homes, and some of the girls down there, we had as many as 95 in one training session down there.
Wait, you had 95 nurses, 95 that you're training?
Yes, the question is, there were not, or are not now, licensed nurses, but we took licensed registered nurses from here
and trained them and trained the local people medically.
Correct. Yeah. We had 5 different topics that we trained them on, like first aid and care of the elderly and the newborn and sexually transmitted diseases and several things that they could actually put into use down there.
Do they have supplies? Do they have ways to actually diagnose and treat people?
They have nursing homes and clinics, which helps a lot. Over 30 years, I took a lot of supplies, and we flew some things down on C-130s and 5As, the largest transport airplane that the United States Air Force has.
Yeah, your second book has a lot of that. The second book talks a bit about how this fellow who's doing that type of thing, missionary work to help build medical clinics, recruits airplanes from the military and such, and that's from your own personal experience, huh?
Yes, we did that. We had to load all of the supplies and all into the airplanes because they would not let us fly with the airplanes. So we had to fly commercially, but they took all of our supplies and all. We even made mobile medical units that were clinics on wheels, and they shipped those down for us.
And once you've gotten into the habit of writing, you've gone full speed into it, haven't you? This one came out, when, like 2-3 months ago at most, seems like.
Yes, I've always been a big artist. I love to paint, I love artwork, and I spend a lot of time at the house because I do have an art studio. But at the same time, I got to writing and telling some of these stories, and I think the biggest promotion that I had in my mind about writing these is the fact that I no longer am as young as I was when I started with the mission work, and I couldn't lift and handle all the things that I was doing physically. So I said, well, perhaps I can influence other people to do some good things also.
That's what I love about writing. Without question, people who write, who have these books. Our second guest, Christy, is writing about abusive relationships. I have a mission book myself, but so many books, even especially a memoir, but even without a memoir, so many books, they all have a moral. And that's what you've done here. You're promoting people to do good things with your work.
Correct. I've even had a couple of churches have approached me about being able to bring this in and have all of their youth be able to read it, because it is very easy reading, and it's also really good moral teaching.
Yeah, your style is very, very straightforward, an easy read, as you said. So I was trying to make the point how prolific you've become so suddenly. Your first book came out like 2 or 3 months ago. I'm working on your second book, and you've had the third book already written, and now you're working on your fourth book. Wow, that's pretty impressive. How do people? So how are you marketing your books? You talked about the churches, but what else?
I have applied to Books A Million and to several of the places. I think you were telling me a while ago that it is available on Amazon, but I have not actually taken them into any stores or local domains here locally, where I would like to drop some off and see how they will be accepted here locally first before I go any further than that.
And you have ideas. Let's see, the first two are sort of about good people who are helping the world. But I haven't read the third one. You told me it's a little bit. It's got a mafia theme. Tell me a little bit about that.
It's very interesting. Everyone who's read part of it, because I haven't released it for anybody, but realize that they don't want to put it down. I mean, it's a story about real things that really happened on the entire Gulf Coast, and some of the influence of some of the people that weren't as on the up and up as they should have been. And
so it's based on real events that happened here on the Mississippi coast.
Yes.
And what's the title of the book? Oh, we don't have one yet. Okay. We'll have to have you back on the show when you get that third one published, because that really sounds like something that'll be very popular here on the coast. Not that these aren't. These are very good books. Where did you learn to write?
Where did I learn to paint? It's just something that I've picked up and I've started to do. I've written quite a few poems through the years, and I've had a couple of them published. Actually, not published like this, but put on flyers of the of different churches. They put them because it's about the Gulf Coast and about again thinking good.
Yeah, it was a lovely book, and it reads very smoothly. What else? So you retired. What was it you used to do?
I was a dentist.
Dentist.
I was my
here
office,
on the coast.
Yes, I was right across from the Beau Rivage, and my office was blown away with Hurricane Katrina, and I received some insurance money and all, and decided that I just really didn't want to spend as much time as I had spent previously in reestablishing another practice and all. So that's when I went off. Actually, I went off and invented and have a patent on solar works, and so that's what I've been doing since that time.
Solar works. What does that mean?
Well, actually, I am the only person. You have to go through my patent if you do, but it's bringing solar power off of roofs into a storage where you don't have to sell it to the power companies and then buy it back from them like most everybody does. You actually store your own, and we store them in lithium batteries, and it's very convenient because you're using your own power.
How creative. How creative. Well, I hope they can contact you. We have like an email for Hank up here, and that's where you contact Hank to talk about his books and maybe your solar power for your roofing. And your books are available on Amazon, and they're available as ebooks as well as hardcover. So soft covers will be really nice. I think you're going to develop quite a few people, quite a big following. Well, Hank, thanks so
Well,
much,
thank you so
for
much.
coming on the show.
Thank you
It's
so
a
much for
pleasure
having me.
to having you on our show.
Thank you.
To help support the show, please think about sponsoring. I will do commercials for you very inexpensively. I can create them. I will publish them for you, put them on the show. Check contact me through my website or through my email address here, and let's help these authors. And when you see these authors, buy their books.
Arise and Call Her Blessed, a daughter's memoir. As a young adult, I realized that I had been very fortunate to have a wonderful mother. I thought of all the stories, the teachings, the example that she had set, her compassion and her generosity, her conviction that every human being deserved to be treated with the utmost dignity and respect.